Saidur. Now I'm going to give you an overview about a project that I did in my recent past. So basically, the project is related to a hotel data. Um, if I have to tell you about the data, then the data set will contain three individuals year, like 2018, 19, and 22, and sorry, 20 and 20. Uh, so, and there have a extra sheet which named with meal cost and market segment. And so the goal is that the main goal of that project is likely benchmark with three individual criteria. Like the first question will be, is our revenue growing by year or not, and what the actual trends can we see in in that particular data, and if I can make any suggestion for the stakeholders about from that data that I basically working for. So the project pipeline will be at first I'm gonna building a databases in MS SQL Server. Then I'm gonna develop some simple SQL query for the exploration. So basically in that criteria I'm going to loading my CSV file in the SQL Server, and then putting some SQL code on there for prepare the data for the main exploration. So after that, building a dashboard was my second step. So basically for that, I connect the developed queries output to my Power BI software. Then one by one, I actually go through for the final visualization. So let's take a look about the procedure in short. So okay, fine. As I mentioned earlier, that I have a data with mentioned 3 year, that 2018 and 2019 and 2020. So here is the actual data look like. There is I already mentioned that there is already two extra sheet like named with meal cost and market segment. So actually that was my raw data for from which I am getting the insight about that hotel. So after that, I'm gonna load this data in my MS SQL Server. For some technical error, I'm not gonna able to show you the things from MS SQL Server. Therefore, I switch it into MySQL Workbench. So here we develop a simple SQL work like I mark not only mark, like I combine the data into one sheet. For this I join them by union that three individual year like 2018, 19 and 20. So then I select the whole table and join some criteria about that here. So after building this query in the SQL Workbench, then I connect that developed data into my Power BI so that I can actually visualize the main things what I am actually trying to present to my stakeholder. So here is the things that I already built it to present my stakeholder, that the actual revenue amount was 10.23 million. As our first criteria, which is questioned like that, as is our hotel revenue growing or not. So from here actually we can see the actual trend that in July 2018 the revenue for that particular year was maximum. So as like 2018 Same thing happened in 2019 in that part area of July. So we also see that the revenue growing percentage, but the Robi revenue growing amount was increasing larger than. Beside it, there is also some other attribute like our total contribution of total revenue. Basically, there I have a two type of hotel, which on a city type, city hotel and resort hotel. So about the number of contribution, or you can say is a percentage for that two individual hotel type. You can see here that the revenue by hotel title that for 46.38% of the total revenue was generated from resort hotel, and the rest amount of revenue was generated from the city hotel. So you can define that what actually the which hotel type was contributing more in that revenue in our total revenue. So there is the actually the things which I get from that raw data as I showed it to you earlier. So from the data we can also difference some criteria about the discount amount and the total staying night and uh, in brief, there was also a trend for the total nights area, like how the visitors or the guest was staying there. Actually, which time they like to staying at that hotel. So for this, I actually attached that trend line in short about each below of each amount. Like you can see that here and yeah. So that was our actual Power BI dashboard look like. Then for easy understanding, I also build a presentation based on it so that everyone can understand and easily can go through it. So for this, I actually use Microsoft PowerPoint. So I'm gonna now take you there to actually present what the insight I get from that data in detail. So yes, here it is. That was our front page that I titled it with the name of Insights of Hotel Data. So our three core question was mentioned there. Is our hotel revenue growing by year and the actual trend and the overall suggestion based on that analysis. So in that case, our approaches was look like that as we have two types of hotel. So we actually segment that each attribute in two types that how they are impacting in the total revenue area to actual track the exact amount which they are actually generating for the company. So to track the trends, we'll give you a focus on average daily booking rate throughout the year to find out the actual seasonality that actually which time the visitors likely most to staying at a hotel and or it might be that they're loving to travel on that particular area. So from the observation of the data we can see that the revenue is almost take a double step in 2019 from 2018, which is almost 48%. You can say, and you can say it almost 50%. Like then the growth fall down, and almost the number was 18% from the year of 2018. So based on it, the overall growth for that year 2018 was 30%. Like they're growing for a particular season and then falling down and then after overall growing percentage, if I have to say that, then it was 30%. So it is if I have to say about that resort hotel, then the revenue is increased almost 35% and in 2019, and from that year of 2018 then the growth fall down as like city hotel which is almost 20%, and so overall growth for that resort hotel is 20%. Let's jump into our next slide. So here I actually visualize it for to actually know about the seasonality, like about the trends, what actually the data was focusing on, and the data was giving us that every year of May the booking rate start increasing accordingly and continue to flow in upward till August. So here you can see that in the criteria of May and between the month in August that was still increasing, and you can see that the uh, green mark which indicate the amount of increasing, then the is became red which indicate you to about the falling of the revenue the revenue step. So from that actually we can see that every year of May to August the revenue amount was increased rapidly, and then it was falling down accordingly to coming for the second season for the next year. So between the time period, so we can conclude it about by mentioning that the between year of October to December the water generated the lowest amount of revenue. So there was another part for suggestions. So based on that seasonality, so every hotels need to do some basic work like the cleaning and improving about their services. So for that, I suggest them to doing the necessary development work between in the month of November to January, when the actual amount of revenue and the guest was in lowest part. So I suggest them to prepare and develop the necessary work between in that particular time. Yeah, there was a question arise in that analysis process, which is by myself. So to actually the question is related about the possibilities of extra revenue. That is that hotel enough capable to generate the extra amount of revenue. So for that actually I need to analyze the external data, which actually I don't have that much. For this I just suggest them to actually collect the external data, but if possible then collect the external data, then actually doing some research on them and analyze them, then I can actually say that is there any option to maximize more about more revenue in that seasonal time. Is that the guest amount of the market was more than the actual capability, like is that demand was larger than the actual supply. That was the overall things which I did for that particular project. Hopefully you will like it, and let's know if you have any confusion, and you can freely ask to me in inbox. So till then, take care and best of luck.